Hi everyone, Gemma here, thanks for watching today. This is project number 6 in my 14 Days of Love series. And in this video, the idea I have is to combine a pillar card and a gift box together. So I'm going to make a card and gift box in one. So my idea is to make the pillars bigger so that they'll house a miniature bottle of rosé. So you'll have 2 pillars on each side and then a heart in the centre with your message, and you'll be able to write on the back. So no specialty dies are required to make this project. I'm just going to be using stamps and dies to decorate. So let me talk you through what I plan to use. So I have the Creative Craft Products Impossible Cards Portrait versus Stamp set. And I think I might use this one here, which says, "I love you more than yesterday, but not at half as much as tomorrow." So I thought that was quite cute, so I'm going to put that on the back, I think. Then I have the Ultimate Big Words from Paper Ink Stamp. So Jessica has created these stamps herself and manufactured them, and she sells them in her Etsy shop. So I think I'm going to be using the Love You. Then from Made to Surprise, I have the Chunky Alphabet die, and I think I'm just going to use this to spell out XOXO. So you've probably seen this in quite a few of my Valentine's makes. I just think it's a great set, which I always go to. And to decorate, I'm going to be using this paper pad from the range, which is the pink paper block. So you can see on the front all the designs there. So I'm going to split this project into 2 sections. So first we're going to make the gift boxes, so the pillars for the card, and then we'll move on to attaching everything together and creating the card itself. To make the gift box, you need 2 pieces of 5.5 by 11 3/4. Along the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score at 2.5 and 5. You then want to rotate so you have the 1/2 inch tab at the bottom. Then you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 2 1/4 down to this first score line here. Hopefully you can see that. So down to this line here. Then 3 and 11. So that's 2 pieces of that. You'll also need 2 pieces of 5.5 by 11 1/4. Along the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score at 2.5 and 5. Then you want to rotate so you have the 1/2 inch tab at the top, and then you're going to score at 2.5 and 10.5. Then to decorate the gift box, you need 6 pieces of 2 1/4 by 7 3/4 and 2 pieces of 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I've also cut a piece of white cardstock just to strengthen the base, because we're going to be holding that miniature bottle of sparkling rosé. So you want a piece of 2.5 by 2.5. So I've already gone ahead and I've prepared one of the pillars. So I've decorated 3 of the sides and left 1 blank, and that will be attached to the back of our card panel. So let me just talk you through what we need to do. So let's start with the largest piece, which is the 11 3/4 by 5.5. So we're going to fold and burnish on the score lines. So now we're going to do some cutting. So with our 1/2 inch tab here on the left hand side, I'm going to cut up this first score line to the first score line there. So up there to there. And then I'm going to cut it this side, so I'm completely removing that piece there. Then working to the next score line, I'm going to cut up to the first score line, so you then free up these two pieces, and we're just going to cut a small wedge into that piece there. That piece there, and that piece there, and a wedge off this piece. So then we're going to completely rotate so that we have the 1/2 inch tab here on the right hand side. And I'm going to work from the right hand side this time. So from the first score line, I'm going to cut up past the first score line to the second score line. So on this line here, all the way up to there. And you want this to be neat because this is the lid of our box. So I'm just cutting left of the score line. And then I'm going to cut across here and completely remove that rectangle piece. Then move into the next score line, so we're going to go up past the first score line to the second score line. Okay, then turn it on its side, and this score line that we couldn't fold, we're going to cut along that now. Okay, so you've got a piece like that. And the only wedge that I'm going to take from this end is off this piece here, which is our tab. This will form the top of the lid. So I might need to do a little bit of trimming once it's assembled, but I don't want to take anything off now because I want it to be nice and snug. Okay, so if I hold it down on my mat there, you should have two pieces like this. So it'll be one for each gift box. Next, we're going to take the smaller piece and we're going to fold and burnish along the score lines. So we're going to do some cutting again. So if we work with the tab on the right hand side here, I'm going to cut up the first score line to this first score line here and remove that square there. Okay, sorry, you could have cut up this score line and gone across completely. My apologies. Okay, and then we're just going to take a little wedge off this tab here. This is the top. So again, we're not going to take anything off this until it's assembled. So let's rotate. Now we have the 1/2 inch tab on the left hand side. And working from the left, we're going to cut up the first score line to this first score line here, and then remove that completely. Okay, then moving along to the next score line across, we're going to cut up that to the first score line so it frees those pieces up. And then on the right hand piece, we're going to take a wedge. And a wedge off this piece here. So if I hold that down on my desk, you can now see what you should be left with. So you want to do that with both pieces. And what will happen is this now forms the base. This is the top. we join our pieces together, so we have a larger piece here for the lid and a larger piece here for the bottom. So we're going to join our pieces together. So I've added quick grab glue along this 1/2 inch tab. And we're going to connect both pieces together. So I've flipped it over now. I'm going to fold this tab back and add quick grab glue along here. My glue is not playing today, it keeps clogging up for some reason. And I'm going to fold this piece over and attach those together. So before I assemble the lid and the base, I'm going to use the flat surface and attach the pattern paper. So as you look at the box, you've got the lid here with a 1/2 inch tab, so that will fold towards you and face the front, and then you've got this larger square piece here, so that forms the base. So just be mindful of that when you're decorating. So you want to decorate this top panel here and the two sides and keep the back blank. So I'm just going to cross them off so I know which ones to add my pattern paper to. So I'm going to attach these with some Collall glue on these 3 panels that I've marked off, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So as I said, I've gone ahead now and I've attached the 3 panels, the pattern paper to the 3 panels, and now we're ready to assemble. So I'm going to work on my lid first. So as you can see, this is too snug and I can't close the lid properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a small amount off this side piece here, and a small amount on the opposite side. So a little piece like that. Now I'm going to try and close my lid. So that is now nice and snug, and I'm happy with that. So no glue in apart from the pattern piece there on the top, so I'm going to add that now. Okay, and then we're going to work on the base. So because I was limited on size with the A4 cardstock, I had to sort of deconstruct the box and make it in this way. So what I'm going to do is put this largest tab that we've cut the wedges off down first, then these 2 pieces over the top and close it up like so. So let me just show you that again, because I think I was slightly off camera there. So this larger piece here down first, these 2 tabs, and then this over the top. I'm going to use Collall glue for that, just to help strengthen the base. And then I'm bringing everything round just to square off that piece. And I'm going to open the lid and go in with my bone folder and add some pressure on the bottom there. So I'm going to take my 2.5 inch squared piece that we cut. I think I'm just going to trim a little bit off 2 of the sides just to help it sit better inside the box. So about 1/18 of an inch. I'm going to add Collall glue and pop it inside, and then that'll strengthen everything up. So how I like to do it is I place the piece there and slide it down so I don't if you can see that. So the glue is facing up, and then I just flick it over and then it'll fall down inside. So there's our little gift box complete, and I've popped my little bottle inside, and that just fits snugly in so, like so. So now that we've created our 2 pillars, we're going to start to bring the card together. So I'll go through the other measurements with you now. To create the card base, I've cut a piece of 8 by 8. I've then got this piece of cardstock to go over the top, which is 7.5 by 7.5. And then I've got this white panel that will go over the top of that, which is 7.25 by 7.25. So that will be going on the back of the card. Then if we flip that over, we've got our 2 pillars that will go on the front there. I've cut a piece of this pink cardstock to 2 3/4 by 7 3/4, and that will fit inside there. And then I was inspired by this pattern paper, so I thought it looked like a geometric heart, and I thought it was an unusual shape. So because we're doing an unusual card or gift box, I thought I'd carry that through. So I created this on my Cricut, but you don't need to have a machine to do that. All I did was I added 3 hexagonals together. So you've got one forming there, one there, and then I added the third to create this heart shape. So you could draw that by hand, or if you've got hexagonal dies, you could draw around those to create your shape. So I've got one piece in the white cardstock and one piece in this red sort of pink cardstock, and that will go on the front there. So for the decoration, I haven't prepared that yet, but I'm thinking of, as I said at the start of the video, spelling out XOXO and I love you, and then my sentiment's going to go on the back. So let's start by attaching everything together now, and then we'll work on the decoration. So I'm going to start by decorating the back. I'm going to attach this piece here first, and I'm going to add Collall glue to help strengthen that. I'm just concentrating on creating that 1/2 inch border around the outside. I want to stamp on my white piece, so I'll set that to one side. I'm going to flip it over now and add the gift boxes. So just checking that I've got it the right way. So I'm going to add glue all along this back piece here. And I'm just going to line up those 3 edges so that they are flush with one another. I'm so grateful for Collall glue, because honestly I am such a messy crafter and I get ink and glue and everything on my fingers, and the great thing about this is that it just rubs off, doesn't leave any mark. It's a slight one there, but that'll be covered. So you could open up your box and go in with your bone folder just to add some pressure to that piece there once you're happy with the placement. And then I'm going to go ahead now and do exactly the same on the opposite side and attach that there. Next I'm going to add this piece here in the center. You could emboss this piece if you like. I've got some lovely heart embossing folders, but they're just not the right size too small for this project, which is a shame. Then I'm going to attach this piece in the center there. So I think as a guide, I'm going to line up this point with this line here, and the same on the opposite side. So I'm just going to add some glue along this side here, and this side here. And place that in the center, and then I'm going to attach that piece over the top. Ideally, I like to pop that up on some foam to give it some added dimension, but because it's the gift box, I want to use the Collall glue to help strengthen this piece. So the card base is formed, and we're going to work on the decoration now. So I've gone ahead and I've prepared all the items that I want to use to decorate the card. So I've used the chunky alphabet dies, and I've cut XOXO, and I've die cut it twice, once in this pink cardstock that matches this here, and some fun foam, and then that's going to go just there like so. I've die cut some love hearts in this red colour and white, and I'm going to pop them on there like so. I've stamped the love you, and I've used Distress Oxide raspberries, Festive Berries to stamp that. And then I've also stamped my sentiment and added a heart there. So I've popped the bottles inside, and I've put one on each side, and that just sits nicely like so. I am going to add a little bit of further decoration to it, but I didn't want to be moving it around because I want to add some Nouveau drops. So I'm going to do that at the end, and you'll be able to see more detailed photos on Facebook or Instagram, and you'll find me under Gemma Lee Crafts on those. So I just love how the idea has turned out. I hope you'll have a go at making it yourself. It's a really simple make. As I said, you don't need any specialty dies to make this. Everything can be cut by hand. I've just used those extra bits then as decoration. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, you might want to give me a thumbs up, comment on the video, or consider subscribing to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. Any products will be listed in the description box below, as well as a link to our Facebook group Gems Gems, where you share any makes that have been inspired by my channel. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!